Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are doing great. Today is Tuesday. Yeah, happy Tuesday. I hope that you guys had a nice holiday weekend and enjoyed your Memorial Day. I hope that this is my cat's tail. Because, of course, as soon as I go live, she wants to be right next to me. She was chilling, doing other things a little while ago. So she saw me and ready to go live. But anywho, yeah, nonetheless, I do hope that you guys have been doing well and, like I said, had a great holiday and holiday weekend. And that, the beginning of the work week has been, being well received on your end. With all that said, if you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. I hope you like what you see here and decide to stick around. I hope that you hit that like button and subscribe, so that you could be in touch with me when I am on here. Hit the notification bell as well. That would be super helpful, so that you know when I'm on. And yeah, if you've been rocking with your girl for a bit, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. Nobody popped in just yet, but we shall see if people start trickling in. Give it like another minute or so, and then if not, then I'll just start shuffling some cards. But as you guys did see in the title, this is just a collective message, very general. I felt drawn to a few decks that I was like, ooh, I haven't read from that one in a while or whatever. So it's like, some decks that I haven't read from in a bit, or, just stuff that I was like feeling like, let's just see what's going on with you guys. So also I did just watch my Soli, the Phoenix Priestess, just a moment ago. It was very very fired up reading. I love that girl. Love her so much. Um, she was definitely channeling a lot of different stuff, and a big thing that she was picking up on was this energy of, and maybe that's why she was feeling so much too, because it's like I think it was like this energy of just like needing to like fully sever ties where we are no longer welcome, or we don't want to accept people into that space anymore. Hey Buki, hey girl, hey. Guys, say hello to Intuitive Interactions. Check her out. Definitely subscribe to her. She's a great reader, great person. She's a part of my tribe. So yes, definitely check her out. Um, and we also have Aya, Asia. Hi Asia, how are you? Um, Second, my loves. But yes, so with that said, um, that was one of the things that she was picking up on, as well as just like this energy of people constantly taking without ever, you know, giving back. So if some of you guys have been feeling like that, I mean, there could be a channeled message there. So yeah, I don't know if she's gonna pop in on here or not, but we shall see. All right. So with all that said, guys, I'm gonna start getting into the reading. The first deck that I'm going to use is the archetype cards here. Um, she, for whatever reason, she can't do replays. So like when she does a reading, that's it. You can't even access it. I think they changed how you can do the vibes. Like once you hit the 50 subscribers, you can't like post it up like how I do, or like Lati and stuff. So apparently you have to have a certain amount of followers to do that next step. So they have changed it, which I think is bullshit, because it's like, really. So she worked that hard to get to the 50 subscribers to go live, and she can't post it until she does that. It's so stupid. I don't like that. But all right, I just split the deck here, and we have says monk and nun, light attribute, selfless devotion, and single-minded dedication to spirit, along with the shadow attribute being negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. We also have engineer. It says light attributes, ability to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. Shadow attribute, reliance on mechanistic solutions rather than regard for emotional consequences. Okay. It's kind of interesting. I heard man versus machine. That's what I just heard. Um, this energy of what we do here in the physical world, but on different facets. I just picked up on that. So that's interesting. Man versus machine. Alright, so let's see. We're going to get like maybe 3 cards from here. We're not going to go too crazy because I don't even know where this message is going to go. Being that this is just a collective and I have like no direction at all of where this reading is supposed to go. Usually like spirit is like, oh, we're gonna, this is gonna be geared towards career or something. Like, no, they didn't do that today. They was like, nope, we're just gonna throw some decks at you and you're gonna have to figure out what the message is. I'm like, okay, spirit, say less. We have CG Drum. Hi, how are you? How you doing? Couple more shuffles. See what's going on there. Ren is like really not leaving my side. Okay, what we have here. It's funny. It's funny for a couple of reasons. Because as my daughter here, my cat, my pet baby, my fur baby, she all of a sudden, as soon as I was about to go live, she's like right there next to me. I'm like, girl, I'm trying to like set up. And she's like right here, like, she has not left. She's just chilling. And what comes out, and then the other part that's funny to me is for those of you who know my girl, Intuitive Interactions, and she's in the comment section right now. She's a reader too, and she receives a lot of messages from Mother. Okay, so we have Mother here. It says light attributes: nurturance, patience, unconditional love. Joy is giving birth to life. The shadow attribute is smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. That's very, very interesting. So we don't know where this message is going just yet. So just, be on the lookout / have your listening ears open to the messages as they come out, because we don't know where it's going yet, right? We only received a couple of messages so far. I am a mother's daughter. I say that all the time. I say that also about my dad. Like, I am my father's daughter. When like I was cussing at my second job the other day, I didn't know you cuss like that. I'm like, my dad is a Marine. I've been hearing cuss words since I was a baby. Of course I freaking cuss. Like, shit. That's just what we do in my family. Crazy ass Cape Verdeans. That's what they do. Just saying. They some crazy motherfuckers. I'm just saying. Alright, we have King. It came out in the reverse, but we're going to read both sides of the card. It says, light attributes. Enlightened, benevolent leadership, but benefiting those in your charge. But again, it did come out in the reverse technically. So the shadow attributes, it says excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. That's how it came out. So that's interesting because we have Mother, but then we have King, which is kind of giving me like Emperor vibes. There is a Father card in this deck, but yeah, I'm kind of getting this juxtaposition, especially how they're in the opposite positions like this. It's giving me like mommy daddy vibes. We shall see. So beggar and healer. So maybe you guys are learning how to heal. We have Prince in the middle. Interesting. Let's get 1 or 2 more from here. We'll keep going from there and see what Spirit has to say. Challenging position. Avenger. It says light attributes: desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on the behalf of society or oneself. Yeah, definitely giving mommy daddy vibes. Yeah, okay, we're gonna rock with it. Let's just see what Spirit has to say though. Shadow attribute: resorting to violence in the name of the cause. So I am kind of, hey, don't say sorry. You were channeling something. And that's why I said we need to talk, because clearly you're channeling. Now, I don't even think that was all you. I think that you're channeling like the energy of other people. the more that you start doing what you're doing with the channeling and doing the collective messages. Oh, guys, the person who I'm referring to and speaking to is the Phoenix Priestess. And what I've noticed, there's times where like I go live and I'm like, is this even my own emotions? Like sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. And I'm like, I'm so confused, you know, because like when you start doing what we do, you know, if you're a true like reader, not just somebody who just bullshits around and just says, "Oh, this card means this." Like, no, people who actually channel other people's emotions and feelings and all of that, right? Like, we literally feel the emotions of other people. So sometimes it's hard to tell if it's ours or not. So we have to make sure we get grounded. We have to make sure we cleanse in between everything we do. Like, it's a lot. And there's been times where I've been like, yo, I'm just like a terrible reader. Like, you know, I have these moments and I'm just like, no, it's not that. You know, I have to like get grounded and meditate. So that's why we're gonna talk, girl. We're gonna talk. I love you. And no need to apologize. You were having a very, you know, a real moment right there. It was very raw, and it's, you know, it's one of those things like the people who are meant to be with you in that moment, they were meant to stay with you in that moment. Okay, so because I've gone off on here, y'all have seen me crying and shit on here and doing all my carrying on. You know what I mean? Y'all have seen me. Trust me when I tell you, I definitely understand. You know, I give you all the grace because of what you're able to do. You're able to do way more than I can do. So the reason why I'm looking off to the side is I'm waiting for like the little spinner thing to say I can skip this ad. It's very annoying that it's hooked up to my the account that I pay for, but yet it's still ads. I don't understand that when it's on the smart TV. It's very stupid. But what is up with this? It seems like there's like more ads than normal too. Stop it. um, but yeah. So yes, please don't feel the need to apologize. Okay, I love you. She says the hoops. Yeah, it's the hoops. You know what they say about the hoops. I love you, girl. All right, so I have. Okay, let me show you what we have here with that Avenger card that came out challenging. As we're talking about this weird energy between mommy and daddy vibes, like it's like, somebody was definitely having some maybe mommy and daddy issues at some type of point. And the thing with the daddy vibes is we're getting something that's more like somebody who's like very what's the word I'm looking for? Overbearing versus somebody who's like, you know, just a leader. So that could have been a dynamic that you face. I'm getting that we might be doing almost like a shadow work slash childhood reading right now. If that's not what you want to watch, you have all the free will to leave because it could get heavy, and I feel like it's going to. Especially with the fact that on the bottom of the deck here we have this. This card is something that you can, the way that the deck was created, you could create this card for yourself. So you know, you can ask yourself, what are my light and dark attributes? You know, what are my archetypes when it comes to my own personality? We have the Fool here on the top. It says light attributes, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at the absurdity and hypocrisy, along with shadow attributes saying using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. So using comedy, almost like I'm getting like self-deprecation and stuff like that. I self-deprecate often. I've talked about that on here, where I will make fun of myself constantly to like ha ha ha, like it's just a way to like be lighthearted and blah blah blah. But the stuff I'm saying is also stuff either that I've heard and I'm repeating the pattern, like Rose talked about this earlier, or these are things that I've started to believe about myself that I don't want anybody to pick up on it first. I say it about myself first so that nobody else can say it about me. Right? We talked about that on your channel. So I'm just saying, somebody might be very similar to that. We have the Messiah here in the middle of the deck. It says, for the light attribute, serving humanity with humility. Shadow attribute, exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. So we can't save everybody, right? And the thing is, it's like, for those of us who are like big time caring people, and we really are serious about this whole, like, we care for others, we're there for others. Um, we can't help everybody. And also, aside from not being able to help everybody, we also have to be able to learn how to help ourselves. So there is that, again, this, very opposing push and pull between, okay, well, I meant to do this, but I also need to do this. So it's like, you guys are probably like people very similar to myself, where you know that you want to do certain things. I'm gonna get one more from here. I just feel drawn to do so. Yeah, like, you know that you're meant to do certain things, but at the same time, there's like this push and pull, and then it becomes kind of like, I just saw like a ball of like yarn, like a cat playing. Has my cat's right here, like a cat playing with a ball of yarn, and it's all like just all over the place, right? It's all scattered around, and how, like, does that ball of yarn ever look the same when you try to put it back together? No, it never does, right? And it's because it's like, life be throwing shit at you, and you have to figure out, what the fuck do I do with this? I have to make this somewhat organized, and you're just trying to fucking fit pieces where it goes, and you don't really know where it goes. You're not really meant to. Life isn't meant to be clean all the time. Sometimes it's meant to be a little bit messy, and that's okay. It's totally okay. We are not perfect individuals. We're not meant to be. Let's allow ourselves to be perfectly imperfect. Okay? That's what I'm picking up on. Like this bun right now with these little fucking braids sticking out, and I got like my little nigga naps that are coming out because I need to get my hair done again. Like, come on, guys. Like, I look kind of crazy. I got one boob that's bigger than the other. Like, come on now. I probably got a couple little sweat stains from hiding with air on. And my cat just said, you know what, Ma, you doing too much? Yeah. Can I release my leg now too? Thank you, man. I love you. Go eat your food or whatever you're about to do. So it's like, hey, Callie girl. Hey, girl. Hey. You know what I mean? Like, let's allow ourselves to be, imperfect creatures. That is what we're meant to do. I'm getting something like that. And one thing on here, I just do a little self-deprecating, and it's like I add humor, to the circumstances. Now the thing is, it's also just about being cautious of, how much we do that, right? Let's be real with ourselves. Like, if you're constantly doing that, you're covering up something, right? So, and I can relate to that. There are those times where I can admit where I self-deprecate a lot as a way to kind of make up for the fact that I know I have shortcomings or flaws or whatever, so that the other person can't say anything about me. I say it first, that kind of thing. So let's just be mindful again, right? As the sun officer is trying to beam through the damn blackout curtains. Like, how blackout curtain are you, Walmart? You know what I mean? I hope you guys are like kind of catching the drift a little bit there. All right, so let's get one more from this deck. Thief. Damn, my girl, her reading is popping through, because guess what we got now? You were talking about people who steal from you, who take from you, right? Thief is here. In the upright, it says, or the light attribute, it says, sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. So that's about, being mindful of not allowing people to take from you and take from your energy. But in the shadow attribute, as a different kind of thing, we have stealing money, creative ideas, affection, and other powers you think you lack. I don't think that that's you guys that are taking from other people. I think people are taking from you, especially like with you coming up as an avenger. You're trying to figure out that middle ground, right? People have taken from you, and including in your own family. And you're just trying to figure out, okay, well, how do we work on being cautious, I was about to say cognizant enough of the fact that we have to know the difference, right? Um, yeah, we have to know, look, what's on the bottom of the deck? We have child, magical. So this is stemming from the childhood, right? It says light attributes, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things. Yep. Blinding ourselves to, that innocence. But I'm gonna keep reading. The belief that everything is possible, with the shadow attribute being pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles. Believing that the energy and action are not required for growth. We have to take action. We say we. We have to take action in our growth, and we have to see that there is so much potential there. We hold a lot of potential. My head started hurting all of a sudden when I'm saying this right over here. Somebody might be in headaches, like migraine headaches on the left side of their head. Let me know if that resonates at all. We have Virgin here. It says for the light attribute, it says maintaining symbolic purity, symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Shadow attribute, fear of intimate union. So what I'm getting with that, like, I don't think it's like literally a virgin. What I'm getting is more just again, with that child energy that showed up on the bottom, right? I'm getting more of this energy of remaining a pure-hearted person despite how people have maybe come into your life. And it's hard because it's like, you kind of get a little bit tainted, right? You get roughed up a little bit. I heard rough around the edges. You get a little bit roughed up. And it's like, it's definitely understandable because of the circumstances. But as the sun's trying to shine some light, illumination, yeah, we have storyteller here in the middle of the deck. Uh, the ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols, along with, for the shadow, making up tales that harm others. So people might have lied on you and, put you in a position where you had to really protect yourself. Things like that, which is fucked up. Nobody wants to have to experience that, right? So let me know if it's resonating for you so far, guys. I haven't done like one of these whatever comes out readings in a while. Like I do them from time to time, but like sometimes I have like an idea at least of where it's gonna go. Spirit just kind of guided me and said, "You're gonna pull from these decks," and that was that. I haven't pulled from this deck in forever, and I haven't pulled in this one probably for a few months too. So it's been a while since I pulled from both of these decks. All right, so we're moving on to a new one, which is the Inner Temple Oracle. We have the tall poppy, along with create some space. Yeah, creating space for yourself. I'm getting like creating space for yourself to bloom is what I'm getting. Like she looks very liberated in that little image there. Like she looks very liberated as she's working on herself. Not this stuck energy, you know what I mean? Like sometimes we have to free ourselves from even those who we love so dearly, our friends, our family, romantic partners, jobs, so on and so forth. Even old versions of ourselves. As we understand more about ourselves, like anything that's been taking, right? And, these are patterns that could have started, very, very early on, very young for some of you. Being able to understand that now it's time for you to avenge yourself. It's time for you to stand up for yourself. It's time for you to not allow for those things to be the things that, you know, take over. If that makes any sense. Yes, you are golden. You're the fucking golden child, god damn it. And don't let anybody tell you different. Ironically enough, Wati yesterday from Tears and Wheat Tarot Show, she did a really, really beautiful read. And one of the messages that came out, one of the cards from the deck that she was reading from, it said golden, and she had said, "You are the golden child. You are not the black sheep." She shuffled the card, just spilled out of her hand. The next card was, "You're not the black sheep," or something along those lines. It was crazy. She was crying because it was that powerful. Like 42 when I said that. Like, you guys have so much more potential than you think you have. Okay? You have plenty. Okay? Don't think that you're in this place of scarcity, right? You see how there's a juxtaposition there. You know, it's not about being in the place of lack. It's about being that place of feeling plentiful and abundant. Change that mindset. When you start to realize that nobody can take from you if you set those healthy boundaries, right? Because you are fucking golden. You're amazing. It's giving me like that the song by Jill Scott. If you guys are into like neo soul kind of music, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden. Yeah, you're golden. And you know, this is a little bit frisky here, but in the middle of the deck when I split it, we do have sensuality. So for some of you, you know, maybe a person who was taken from you was somebody who you were giving to in a sensual way or a sexual way. Now keep in mind, sensuality and sexuality are very different, but you know, maybe you were feeling you were giving of yourself in that sensual way and they were only taking from you sexually. That seems very specific. That's not like a paragraph. Only take the messages as they resonate though. I'm also getting like I just heard giving him something he can feel. That's in Vogue, but that's also from not Sparkle. What was that movie? Was it Sparkle? I forget. Please don't quote me on that. But like the original song, I can't remember right now. My apologies. But usually I'm pretty good with that. For some reason, I only hear the In Vogue version, so I can't remember. It was the Dreamgirls. There we go. Was it Glitter? Okay, it could have been Glitter. I was getting, maybe you're right, because oh wait, didn't Jordan Sparks do it? Okay, that might have been. You might be right. You might be right. You might be right. Because now I feel like I see her with like the red dress. Was it Dreamgirls? I don't know. But either way, the point, this where it came from is really besides the point. What I'm picking up on though is the song, and is, you know, they say giving him something he can feel, but I'm picking up on giving her something she can feel, like reversing that. So like, you know, for the ladies, you know what I mean, like where we need to start receiving, right? That everything's always give give give. Everybody's taking from us and shit. Everybody's constantly taking, like, shit. Exactly. I just heard now, as you say, touch yourself. Well, you just said Mariah Carey, right? Touch my body. And I also heard. Now this is really throwback. We're talking about the '70s, but there's a song called "Just a Touch of Love." Some of you guys might know that one, because where my ancestors go, they be sending me all over the place, all over. But I did just hear just a touch of love, little bit, just a touch of love. Make me shine just a little bit, just a little bit, with just a touch of love. The group is called Slave, um, which I know is a weird name, but they were a funk group. I think they're from like Ohio or something, but yeah, they're really good. And there's other songs that you guys might know, like Slide, slide, why don't you slide? If you guys have watched Friday After Next, there's a scene with that song in it, and it cracks me up every time because I knew that song since I was a little kid. I was like, hey, I know that song, and they're like stealing the stuff off the racks and stuff. That shit's so funny, and then they get caught. Anyways, Chamber of Transformation. You guys are transforming. Transformers. And this is such a pretty card. Like, look at all the butterflies and stuff too. So pretty. I love that. That's really nice. Let's get like 2 or 3 more from here. And if you guys are resonating with the message, let me know in the comments. Like I said, I know this is a little unorthodox because it is just a straight up general message. Like, there's no rhyme or reason here. We're just kind of going with it, and you know, we're picking up what Spirit is putting down. Like, if Spirit is saying, hey, this is what they need to know, I'm collecting the information. As I put the cards down. Usually it's like, you know, I said it earlier, but usually like they kind of guide me, say, hey, you're gonna read about this today, and I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. And then like they guide me to pick out the decks. Today it was just kind of like, decks that to me didn't make any sense going together, but as we're reading, you know, they kind of are meshing a little bit. They are meshing, so it's pretty cool. The in between, and remember I said something about juxtaposition. I used that word. I was like I think I even used the word in between. I know I used the word juxtaposition. It's also given like polarity, right? Yeah, polarity, dualism. I'm getting like stuff like that. Kind of just being in that in between space. And it makes sense because we have the Avenger card that came out in a crossing position. We have the Mother card and then the King card that were, you know, flipped. So I'm like, I was picking up on something like that. Unhookable. Interesting. I'm kind of getting like, with that unhookable card, it's like you can't be stifled is what I'm kind of picking up on. Chamber of soul contracts is here on the top of the deck. So what I'm kind of picking up on is this energy of like, with this unhookable card here on the bottom, like there are things that have maybe made you feel like you were bound or stuck to those things, but you're realizing more and more now that you're not actually stuck to them. Like there are things closing out as you transform and work on yourself. Yes, and you allow yourself to grow tall and strong in the process. Wow, the tall poppy is here again. I like it. Let's get one more from here, Spirit. I'm going to pull from another deck. I do hope that these messages are resonating and that they make sense. And if you're new to the channel and haven't done so already, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit that like button. See? Aligned and misaligned. Yes, 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 yes. There are things in your life that you were kind of tied to. I heard the word tethered to. That you're realizing you're not hooked onto those things anymore. I just heard hooked on phonics. That's funny. It's not like not in a bad way. Like I was literally on hooked on phonics when I'm a 80s baby, born or raised in the 90s. I was on hooked on phonics. And I used to go to like speech therapy and stuff. So to me, I don't know why that I found that like a little bit funny, but you know, nothing wrong with it. If you were, but somebody might resonate with that. But yes, definitely this energy of, you know, you're releasing that. You're you know, that in between space was only because of something that you allowed yourself to be tethered to. You know, so you're learning how to become aligned from the misaligned is what I'm picking up on. Chamber of inspiration. You might be feeling more inspired. There might be something going on in your life where you're like, you know what? I feel like, you know, I'm in this new direction or heading in this new direction in my life, and I have to, you know, go there. There's two cards that are stuck together, it looks like. Nope, there's only one. It seemed like this card feels so thick, but yeah, the Tapioni is here again on the top. But I feel like the card underneath there was like stuck to it, so I want to see what that is. Life Force. Yeah. There's something that, you know, is about to allow you to kind of grow and expand in your life. You know, if there was anything that you felt like was kind of draining your energy, we definitely was picking up on that. You're allowing for that not to be the thing anymore. I actually opened up the reading talking about that after what my Soli over here, my sister from the Phoenix Priestess, she was talking about on her live, and just this energy of people siphoning off of you, you know, constantly taking, and learning how to say no. We have to start setting boundaries, because the thing is this, it's really easy to get to that point where we just say fuck everything and fuck everyone. You know what I mean? Like after you've been, hey babe, after you've been, you know, going through a lot of stuff with different people in your life and stuff like that, right? So it's like when you get to that point where you're like, fuck this, you you be like really like on some fuck this shit. I'm thinking about like Angela Bassett and Waiting to Exhale when she like burnt up her husband's clothes and shit like that, and the car and all that. She was like, fuck this nigga. Like that might be what you are feeling like when it comes to certain people in your life. And you're just like, yeah, no, I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? Like you just feel lit up right now. You just like, fuck that. In order for me to rise up, I gotta burn some shit down. And it's like Spirit's like, calm thing, calm thing. Calm down a little bit. Like you got this. Um but sometimes when you're in that moment, like you can use that, if you can use those moments as an inspiration though, right? It's giving me alchemy. I'm getting like fire. I just lit a candle before I started this reading actually. And I'm getting like alchemy, like fire magic. I'm getting moon magic, and different things like that that could be helpful when it comes to releasing and also welcoming in new things as you manifest. I'm getting something like that, and working with different elements to manifest. I'm getting something along those lines for some of you guys. Yeah, create some space, create a safe space for yourself, and be able to have a space where you know that you can do the things that it is that you're meant to do when it comes to your creations. Um, Something that's just for you is what I'm getting. All right, so let's pull from the pink deck. I really like this deck. I cannot find the box for this deck. I don't know what happened to it. And it's kind of annoying because like this deck is relatively new, and I'm just like, what the fuck did I do with the box? I have a feeling it's like under the couch. Like I put it down on the floor and then like I kicked the box underneath there, and I did look, but I cannot find it to save my life. Won't be the first time I've done that though. All right, so let's see what comes from here. Let's pull like 3 to 4 cards from here, and then we're gonna pull some tarot. I know y'all probably like, damn, you just not getting ready to pull tarot, but yeah, Spirit was like, oh, we're gonna read a lot of oracle cards tonight and go from there. Hey, blessings, how are you, my love? You have on the bottom of the deck Wheel of Fate. Um, Fate continuously moving in a cycle or completely breaking free from a certain loop. I want to say that when my girl was doing her reading a little while ago, I think I said something, literally those words. I said the same loop over and over, because she was talking about when you're not like when you're not understanding the difference between an ending and a beginning. She was like saying the energy that you need for both is the same. It's the same. So the fact that like people are so afraid to like let endings happen, it's like it's literally the same thing as allowing for a new beginning to start. So which way are you going to allow that wheel to turn? Are you going to allow it to turn in your favor or backwards? Your dharma or your karma, the repeated cycle. Remember, anytime you keep repeating the same shit over and over again, what is that? Insanity. Don't do that to yourself. Yeah, because you'll create your own obstacles doing that shit. Been there, done that. I still do it sometimes even now. A situation that makes it difficult or prevents something from happening. I heard the word impasse. But yeah, we got that bridge right there. I heard rainbow bridge. Got that bridge right there. Exactly. Self-sabotage this. A transition to a new situation, environment, or event, supporting movement and progress. But it's up to you to be able to make that decision, right? Like my girl said, it's like a continuation of that reading. I'm telling you. I know she just said a little while ago, oh, I'm not gonna read on here anymore. I'm gonna smack her. I'm gonna go all the way down to South Carolina to smack her and be like, you've been saved for how long? Like you're gonna be up on here. I'm gonna beat your ass. I love you. But yeah, girl, I understand though. All right, so we got okay, we got a couple cards, like a bunch of cards try to like come. Oh no, we got more than 2 cards that flipped. Okay, what is this, 4 cards? Okay, so we have 3 cards that flipped. I love you. All right, so the three cards that came out together, we have relax. I just heard relax, don't do it. um, relieving stress and tension, and relaxing by distancing from intense thoughts. Yes, relax your mind, right? Set your mind at ease. Easier said than done, right? We get in our moments where, there's high stress situations, and things like that. The people around us driving us crazy, or work driving us crazy, and all these different things, right? Family life, we all have different things going on. A lot of us have things in different areas of our lives that are going on that makes it really hard, and you're like, is the effort even worth it? You're fucking tired, bro. You're tired. It says the process of putting in effort to complete a task or reach a goal in order to achieve a desired outcome. Yeah, they came out together. They're like, don't overthink it, right? When we start overthinking, that's when we get all in our head, and then things start getting all convoluted in there, and then we start, saying things that we don't necessarily mean, or doing things that we don't really want to do. I've done that so many times. I don't know how many times, countlessly at this point, where I say, oh, I'm going to start this task, and then I get in my head because I don't feel good enough. I'm using myself as an example, so you guys might feel like this. And I don't feel good enough. And I'm like, oh, I don't think that I'm going to ever achieve X, Y, and Z, so I'm just going to stop. And then I get in that mind space, and, instead of being in a place of, abundance in terms of my mindset, I'm in a place of scarcity. That card showed up earlier, or an energy of that at least. We don't want to keep on putting ourselves in that position. Let's do what we love. Let's do what we love. Came out together. A passionate emotional connection between partners, often involving attraction, desire, and commitment. And I'm getting this. This is more about, like, not necessarily like romantic partnerships, but I'm getting like this is about anything that happens to do with what you love to do, like, or the energies that you want to love and keep around you. Yeah, your community. It looks different for everybody, but it does say to come together, collaborate, gather, and celebrate. I was talking way too fast. Top of the deck. Target. The desired, sought after, or intended situation to be found or achieved. Going after what you want, right? And it's a part of the journey, the quest. A specific or unclear state of search and effort to reach a goal. So you guys might really have like these goals. And I'm also kind of getting like with just a second ago, of course it changed right when I'm about to say it, but like there was 4 people in here, 11 likes just a second ago. What I was about to say was, now we have it again for 11. What's the 411, huh? Mary J. Blige. But yes, what I was picking up on is that is information for a lot of us, like depending where we live and stuff. If you type in 411 on the phone, back in the day, that used to be like the info line. I'm not sure about now, but back in the day, that was the info line. If you're old enough. And you would be able to ask, like, so for some places it's 211, but yeah, 411 was like kind of like, yeah, how do I get information? I might be really, really, really revealing my age right now, but whatever, it's fine. But what I mean by that is seeking information. This is what I'm picking up on. I think Spirit's kind of saying seek information when it comes to what it is that you really enjoy doing. So how do you take the information that you receive and apply it to your current circumstances to work on your overall happiness and work towards something that you feel more aligned with, is what I'm picking up on. All right, let's get 2 more from here, Spirit. Cross. I heard cross to bear. It says religious belief, spirituality, surrender, prayers, and the battle between good and evil. So, I am getting that, some of you guys might be working closer with um, your faith, is what I'm picking up on, and understanding the importance of understanding that there is something beyond you, beyond 4, as I said that. There's something on the timer, that is. there's something that is beyond, I'm gonna say us, because I wholeheartedly believe this. There is something beyond each of us that we can rely upon, that helps get us through what it is that we're meant to get through. um my girl Allie, she said it very, very well earlier, that we have to, do what we need to do first to be able to even ask for that and seek that type of help. But if we're sitting there thinking that, we're just going to get things thrown on our lap, like, no, we have to put in the work. So that is what I am picking up on. Like, I feel like, the Most High, whatever you believe in, they are a co-creator, if you will, when it comes to what it is that we're building in our lives here in the 3D. But at the same time, we do have to do our part. We can't expect for things to just fall in our lap. If you think that everything's just gonna kind of be like, oh, I'm gonna just pray to the sky god and everything just happens, like, no, it doesn't work like that. In my personal opinion, it does not work like that. So we have to put in the work. We have to put in the effort. We have to show the Most High, whatever you believe in, the universe, your ancestors, so on and so forth, that, hey, I am actually putting in this effort. I am following the call. I'm still struggling. Can you help me? Can you give me some source of strength to get through it? Can you give me guidance to get through it? That's what I'm picking up here. And I do feel like, you guys have been learning how to kind of get more in tune with that ideology of understanding that importance. I hope that makes sense. We have the moon here on the bottom of the deck. It says mystery, intuition, illusions, hidden truths, dreams, emotional cycles, and the subconscious mind. Interesting. 46 when I looked up. Angel, look, I'm telling you. And Allie just said it. A pure, well-intentioned person, divine protection and messages. Look at what we're talking about. Damn, that's strong. Set yourself free by understanding that you have a lot more peace within yourself than you give yourself credit for. When you stay stuck in here, this mental cage that we have, myself included, right? It says independence, the ability to move without restrictions, liberation from obstacles. Come on now, Spirit. Woo! Okay. Rennie was like, okay, I gotta go now. I think I was a little too loud. I'm sorry, honey. You got super, strong ears. Hey, Aya, aka Veronica. What's up, my love? Check her out too, guys. One of my sisters in the building. I love when I see you guys pop in. I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys are the absolute best. We have void here. It says feeling like you're in a void, a sense of emptiness, a feeling of being lost. Yeah. When you're feeling like, okay, I don't know what the hell is happening. I feel like I've exhausted all of my options and all of that. I love you too, my love. You. Yeah, that emptiness that sometimes we feel during these periods of time. But when we understand that we are, again, my girl said it earlier. She said it earlier. We're not alone. We're not. Like, it's so cliche, I know, but it really is so true. Like, we're not alone. We have support around us constantly. It's more so a matter of, are we following the support that's being provided, right? Because they get tired too. They be looking at us like, God damn. Our guardian angels and shit, they just be looking at us like, yo, this motherfucker just don't listen. I've been telling this bitch for 5 months now. Leave that fucking job. Why is she staying at that job? In some cases, it's years. Just saying. That's me. They like, you know what, bitch? Now we're just gonna keep waking you up at like 3 and 4 in the morning and keep you up for 2-3 hours at a time. Let's see if your ass will listen then. You know what I mean? Because shit is misaligned. We're trying to get you aligned, but your ass ain't listening, so you're gonna stay here. Get it together, bitch. Or else you're gonna stay in this in between. Okay. But it happens. We all go through our different moments, and we have to give ourselves grace. But eventually it's like, okay, you gotta fucking listen, okay? Yeah, because then you stay stuck in this sorrow. It says a deep emotional pain or unhappiness, a feeling of sadness caused by past actions, decisions, and events. Come on now. 5005, when I say that, that number 5 is given like 5 of Pentacles energy slash 5 of Cups. But it's also kind of given like, 10 of Swords. You add all that up. Yeah, mixer is here. What does it say? The coming together of differences, chaos, confusion, complex situations. That's like the 5 of Wands, basically, here. So this is more like the 5 of Cups. And as I'm picking up on 5 of Wands, or like just like 5 energy, that 5 energy is important. I'm getting for somebody. Cold. you can't make it up. Okay, so hold up. So you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Understand when I'm picking up is what I'm putting down, okay? So this is like the 5 of Cups. And then I said I'm picking up like 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands, all this stuff, 5 of Pentacles. This would be the 5 of Pentacles. This is when I split the deck just now, by the way. And then this is like the 5 of Wands here. So the fact that all 5116, or sorry, 5115, when I said that, what? Wow. So 555, you might be seeing that number a lot. Wow, that's pretty deep. All right, let's see. How should we do this last part? Because I don't want to make it too long. We're already approaching that hour. I only have this deck and the other deck, so let's do a 5 card spread today. Yeah, 5 card spread. Look, split the deck, 5 of Wands, crazy, and then we also have 7 of Cups on the bottom here. All right, so yeah, let's do a the Death card. Let's do a 5 card spread for you guys. I did see the moon just now. Yep, moon is here. We saw the moon show up in the other deck too. Intuition, with like, things happening behind the scenes that you might not want to pay the fullest attention to. That's what I'm getting. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ooh. Of course, it's not here, but it was in you. For those of you who have been here, like you did see the wheel show up. Of course, it's not actually on the spread. That happens. But we saw the Wheel of Fate in the other deck. Well, we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Same energy. So again, that energy of, and I remember mentioning a little while ago too, I'm getting that power of like between 5 and 10. Yeah. 10 of Cups is here on the top, and we did talk a lot about like family dynamics in the earlier part of the reading, and Tower. Shit falling apart, everything that you thought that you knew happening around you, all coming apart. It's that major upheaval, sometimes that, 5335, and I looked up. It's I just heard infinity on high. There might be somebody who's a fan of Fallout Boy. Let me know in the comments. That was interesting. I just heard that. Infinity on high is what I just heard. But yeah, so definitely something about like family dynamics and stuff like that. And yeah, so we're gonna dive a little bit deeper. Let's see what's the overall energy. I mean, we have a pretty good scope of what's going on here, but let's just see what Spirit has to say from the tarot now. But yeah, I'm definitely hearing infinity on high. Somebody's a Fallout Boy fan. Alright, let's see. Ooh, I like that for the overall energy. Ace of Cups. This is what you guys are stepping into. You guys are like, fuck this shit. I'm trying to be happy, man. Now I just heard, all I really want is to be happy. Mary J. Blige. That's 2 songs now that we're channeling by her. Find a love that's mine. Be so sweet. Yeah. going back and forth with it. Wow. The temperance. Like, how do you find that balance, right? That's what you guys are looking for right now. You're trying to just be happy. Wow. Yeah. Balancing it all out. Six of Pentacles. Like, we were talking about 5505. The power of five, right, Allie? Like, the power of five, these big changes that are happening when it comes to your overall happiness and how you approach it, because you've been going back and forth extending your energy in the wrong places for fucking too long, and you're like, yeah, fuck this shit. Yep, I need it to be balanced. If I'm gonna pour into you, you gotta pour into me. Look at those cups there. They go back and forth. They have the same amount in it. You pour into me, I pour into you, back and forth, right? But when it starts to feel out of balance, if you're giving too much, you're bending over backwards for somebody. There you go. We don't want that. We need that overflow of happiness coming through. I'm gonna say that. I feel like you did. This is like a piggyback, girl. I'm so mad that you can't freaking share your stuff yet, because we're gonna talk about that. You worked way too hard to get to this point. I'm not gonna let you give up now. I understand your reasonings, but nah, we're gonna talk about this. Love you, girl. But yes, so we're gonna look into the incoming energy. 15 subscribers, we're gonna make it happen, girl. We're gonna make it happen. You're too good at what you do. Alright, so the incoming repetitive ass energy. Excuse me. Spirit's like, oh, are we gonna go there? Yes, we are. You guys keep on repeating the same shit over and over again. The Phoenix Priestess just said something about it. I spit on myself a little bit when I said that. Oh no, please don't tell me I have hiccups. Please don't tell me I have hiccups. I hate hiccups. Please don't be a hiccup, please. But yes, this, feeling like you're doing the same shit over and over again, right? Same shit, different day, energy, and you're just like, oh my god, I don't know if this is what I want to do anymore. Trust me, I get it. I have these moments too. But the thing is, it's just about being able to find that sense of alignment. When you know where you are and where you're going, that's important. But also understanding where you've been so that you don't repeat those patterns. That's the thing, Yeah, and that's when you have to learn where to surrender and walk away. Accept things for what it is, right? That sense of acceptance, big thing. Look, all these fives. We talked about that Five of Wands energy before too. So when you start having that inner conflict is what I'm kind of picking up on, where you feel like, okay, I have to kind of accept defeat for what it is and walk away so I can see this, the sun. You got that Ace of Cups, you got the sun. That's the happiest deck in the card. The deck right there. Happiest card in the deck. When you start to learn how to free yourself from the things that have been keeping you feeling like, this is the mundane, this is not where I want to be. When you start to realize what those things are, yeah. No more being in this place of a void, right? Being in this place of alignment, that in-between state, having to, jump over that fence, understand what it is for you. You're being guided in that direction. All right, tell us more. What is the what's the challenge here? What's the challenge? The past is the challenge. The past. And for some of you going as far back as childhood, which we already talked about. Yeah. The things that you've invested in for a long period of time. And you realize, nah, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. For some of you, it could be possibly a mother figure. If it's not a mother figure, it's just about being in that mindset of, because the Queen of Pentacles does represent like prosperity and stuff like that, but it could also represent a mom. Like it actually says fertility on here and stuff like that. yeah, somebody who might have, you know, they were great at certain aspects of being a mother and not that great at others. Like they didn't know how to find that balance. Like maybe they worked too much and weren't nurturing enough. I'm getting something like that. Only take the message if it resonates, because that's not gonna be for everybody. But the main message I'm getting here is just the fact that, like, hold on a second, so I see the other cards accompanying it. Yeah, first I am getting it. Could be something about, you know, childhood and just needing to know how to release that. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up on. So like there was like karmic, you know, lessons and debts and things that had to be paid, that, you know, you're a part of, you know, within your own family, you know, dynamic. And now having to figure out how to get past all of that, that in between stage, right? Where you're not quite there yet, but you're working on it. This is a part of your transformation though. Tell us more. What is the, how can they overcome the challenge? She said the challenge is stupid people. I mean, I don't disagree with that statement at all. Definitely, definitely very, very much possible for many of you guys. All right. The way you overcome it is by allowing yourself to actually make a finalized decision about what you got to do. You know, that's, I heard stalemate. Like, you can't be in that stalemate energy anymore. You know, it's funny because I said I hear stalemate, but then I just realized, I'm like, why am I picking up on that? It's actually on this card. I didn't see it at first. But yeah, because usually what I would say about that card is like, oh, you have to take. I have like this, almost like a same little spiel every time I talk about that card. Like what I pick up from it, this energy of like, oh, you got the wool over your eyes. You got to take the blinders off, which is what that card does mean to me. But like, I heard stalemate, and then I looked down. I'm like, oh yes, literally says that on there. Yeah, being able to, you know, make a finalized decision about, you know, what you do about where you are, because again, you're going to continue to stay in between worlds if you don't, and not feel fully aligned until you allow yourself to get past that. Yeah, and it's going to take some strength, courage, you know, to do this. Hi, Knife. Is that how you say your name? Knife Gaming. How are you? This is not paid. This is just a free collective message right now. But yeah, just a collective message. No personals or paid readings right now. Hope you're well though. We have the world here. So you being able to make a conscious effort and decision to say, I am going to close out these cycles. Yeah. Anything that you feel, remember I used the word tethered earlier a few times. You feel tethered to something that's not good for you. And it's time to let those things go, whatever that looks like. It's going to look different for everybody, but for a lot of you, it does have to do with like your past, your childhood, things that you know, you've held on to for your convictions. I heard the word convictions. Things that you've held on to for a very long time that you have to kind of start releasing. Let me know if that resonates. Pri, is that how you say your name? Well, welcome. I hope that you're well. Thank you for being here. We're going to be closing out this reading in a moment, but like in a few minutes. But if you want to stay for the rest of the reading, you surely can, and see if there's any messages here that resonate with you. I don't know when I'm going to do a like personal live reading thing, to be honest with you. Not gonna lie. But I hope to do that soon. Maybe like in the next week or so. So if you want to subscribe, you can. If you want to hit the notification bell and all that, you also can, so that you know when I'm on and stuff like that, and go from there. But I do appreciate you for being here. All right, let's see. What else? What else? What's going on behind the scenes that the collective needs to know when it comes to all this stuff here? I honestly feel like you guys kind of are well aware of what it is that you need to know, but just in case Spirit has something else that they want to say. I've got two cards. Yeah, they're like, okay. We have the Wheel of Fortune here again. They're like, things are turning in your favor. Queen of Pentacles is here in a different capacity now, I feel. I think that they're trying to say now, like, all these great things are about to start coming towards you. Ooh, and the Emperor. Um, they're like, stand on business, take control of your own life and your own authority, and you're going to see a lot of things come towards you. And abundance is going to look different in different ways, but it's going to take, again, that sense of courage and strength to go in the direction that you're meant to go, is what I'm picking up on. In some people's cases, it might even, it's ironic because I did say something about how I was picking up on like that mother-father dynamic, and we just saw the Queen of Pentacles and then the Emperor. Both of those kind of represent like mother and father like figures. So we had like that king and mother energy earlier, but it was like this weird energy between the two when we saw it. So now I'm just like, are they trying to say that you're really about to kind of turn the wheel in a new direction when it comes to familial um, traits? Is what I'm picking up on. Let's see. What is the likely outcome? Temperance. So they really want you guys to focus on, you know, finding your sense of peace. They're saying things will start to balance out. Yep. After you allow yourself to heal from the heartbreaks and the disappointments, the pains that you might have encountered, right? Don't allow people to come into your space with negative energy, is what I'm getting to. This Page of Swords on the top of the deck in reverse. People, might badmouth you and say what they gotta say. That's fine because you're focused on yourself. You ain't worried about that. You're not worried about that at all. So this is where you're headed. Peace, harmony, balance, okay? Beautiful energy. Let's see. Any last message from the tarot before we pull some last messages from the Soul's Journey deck? I do hope that for those of you who have been here, I hope that you got your messages out of it, and I hope that it was helpful. I hope that if you're new, you decided to, subscribe and all that good stuff, and hit that notification bell, all of that, so that you will know when I'm on the next time, and that we could be connected with each other. We're building this channel and this community slowly but surely, and I'm so grateful for those of you who have been a part of it, and who continue to be a part of it, and those of you who are new and want to also be a part of it. So I love you guys, and I'm so grateful. So the last card out from the tarot is the Ten of Cups. So we know that this was like a familial kind of energy that we were talking about. So this is definitely about, yep, we got the King of Pentacles here on the bottom, Ten of Pentacles on the top. Yeah, it's definitely about family. Yep, and the Page of Cups, that represents like a child. So some of you guys have really dealt with a lot of stuff very, very far back, including in your childhood, that still impacts you very, very greatly to this day. And we can't, I'm going to say we, because I get it. In different areas of my life, I dealt with stuff in my own childhood too. And being able to, be adults now and say, hey, I went through these things. Nothing against our parents or, our grandparents or aunties and our uncles and so on and so forth. There's nothing bad against them necessarily. It's just, for some of them, yes, but for some, no. But we can also acknowledge when, we have to look back, acknowledge what has happened, and move forward with grace and dignity, and be able to say, okay, well, I'm not going to allow for those things to control me anymore, or my path anymore, right? Not holding grudges and things like that. Easier said than done, trust me, I know. But, we don't want to live in a place of regret. I know that I cannot change the past. I didn't even shuffle yet. Exactly, I like that. That should be a mantra. I am not my trauma. Wow. Loneliness is on the top before I even shuffle or anything, guys. I know that I am never alone. And we talked about that earlier too. Spirit is always with us. The Most High, God, whatever you believe, the universe, our ancestors, always with us, okay? fear in the middle of the deck. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Yeah, so let's allow ourselves to be of love. I'm a little bit of a hippie sometimes. It's funny because like my girl, the Phoenix priestess, aka Allie, she is so like blunt and just like, and I love it because sometimes we need to hear that too. Sometimes we need like the love and like not like blowing smoke type shit, but like, cause I'll put y'all in your places on here too. Y'all seen me do that, but shit, if you want somebody who's gonna give you a spiritual ass whooping in the 3D, she gonna be the one to give it to you. Allie gonna give it to you. She gonna give it to you. She gonna give you that ass whooping if you need it. Just saying. But I be going there for those spiritual ass whoopings. So she be like, girl, you know what the fuck you need. I'm like, damn, I just needed to hear from you. Thank you. I love you. I love that girl. I'm just saying, check her out, the Phoenix Priestess. But yeah, so we're gonna get like maybe 3 last messages from here, and then we're gonna close this out. And like I said, I'm really grateful for you guys for being here, even if it was just for a moment. If you came in a little bit late, just when I post this up, all you have to do is rewind it all the way to the beginning, and then you'll be able to watch the whole reading if you'd like to check it all out. We have empathy here. I am open to seeing both sides of the situation. Yes, which I think openness in that way is very important, in my opinion. It allows us to be able to be more forgiving, because again, she even mentioned it earlier. She was talking about forgiveness. Like, forgiveness isn't necessarily for the other person, it's for us. But the more that we're able to have that sense of ineptness when it comes to being open to forgiving and understanding things from the other person's point of view, it allows for us to actually be able to close those gaps and be able to say, okay, as fucked up as this person might have been, or these situations were, I now can understand, maybe where they might have been. I understand where I also was, because my truth is my truth, their truth is their truth, and 2 things can be true at once, and I move on from there. I hope that makes sense. Hi, Erica. How are you? Good afternoon. For me, it's evening, but for you, it's the afternoon. So good afternoon to you. You should put that like on a oracle card. I forgive you so I can forget you. I like that. Fear is here again. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. And let's get one more from your spirit to close out. This was a good reading. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. All right. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna take them. Spirit had something to say. Oh, wow. Then we have another card that said that. I believe we did freedom. Of course, it's probably one of those cards that were like not like in the main spread, but just like that showed up in the deck. I hate when that happens, because then it makes me feel like I'm sounding like a liar. But I guarantee you, like, if you watch this from the beginning, you'll be like, oh no, she definitely said that. It says freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Absolutely, 100%. Erica says, my Aquarius. So, okay. That's a pretty cool spread. Nice. You're in Kentucky. I'm here in Connecticut. Welcome. We have health here. It says, I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Yes, so taking care of our physical body, very, very important right now. That energy has been showing up a lot throughout readings. I'm going to pull one more. Well, not pull one more, but there's one more here. Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So I am kind of getting like this energy, I'm just kind of getting this energy of like, not letting our pride get the best of us, right? On this part of the journey, I feel on the deck purpose. I know what I'm here to do. Yes. Don't let anybody deter you from your purpose. Is what I'm kind of picking up on. Don't let anybody deter you off your purpose. When you have those senses of doubt, don't let anybody steer you in a different direction. doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. Yeah, we don't know everything. We're not going to know everything. Um, and that's okay. Trust in the process. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. I was like, ooh, I'm kind of digging what I saw there for her top three, for her big three, right? One more from your spirit. I just feel guided to do so. Honesty. I like that. She said no flying fucks. Yeah, exactly. I can dig that. Honest, yeah, as we're picking up honesty, right? I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect the truth from myself. Exactly. So there, that's dope ass energy. I'm just saying. Like, put your big boy drawers on, or your big girl panties on when it comes to messing with someone like Erica, because she gonna put you in your place when she needs to. That's what I'm picking up on. She ain't playing. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes, being able to be right where you think. Being able to be very direct and honest about, yourself, your feelings, and put that out there. Shoot. Yeah. Because otherwise, you're going to always be in a place of worrying about what other people think and shit. You end up like me, little softy. How am I Sagittarius with all this soft ass energy? I don't know. I am as soft as baby poop sometimes. But it says, I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. I think too goddamn much, man. My goodness. Always worried about what people gotta say about, like, man, I gotta get out of that. Acceptance. Yes. Accept your fucking awesomeness, right? Stop worrying about everybody's judgments and shit. Like, no, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that no more. We've been there, done that. I'm learning to accept the things that cannot change. Mm-hmm. Exactly. A lot of that energy kind of showing up throughout this reading. And love in the middle of the deck here as we split it. Love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. You know? That, you know, that sense of balance, right? Because again, we saw like this energy of, I don't want to use the word good and bad, but like, you know, let's just go with duality here. We'll say duality. There are things that, we don't necessarily like that are happening in our lives, right? There are also these things that are super awesome going on in our lives. There are parts about ourselves that we sometimes have a hard time accepting and stuff like that, so on and so forth. I think you guys catch the drift. Um, with that said, when we learn how to love all of those different components, and it all, here goes the hippie part of myself, and it all comes together. You know what I mean? Come together right now, over me. When it all comes together, right? It creates something, and it is what we call the mix of our lives. Like we have all these different things going on, so many different things, and the more that we learn how to kind of work on accepting the things that we can work on, whether it's things about ourselves or how we shape and mold the things that are happening outside of ourselves. You don't have to stay at a job if you don't want to. You don't have to stay in a relationship if it's fucked up. You don't have to continue to talk to friends and family who treat you like crap. You can work on your own, habits and things like that, right? The more that we understand that, it's not about beating ourselves up. It's about being able to say, okay, that's okay. I honor that. I'm honest with that. I'm honest about that. Now what do I do about it? And then that's where the love part comes in. So with all that said, my loves, I do hope that you guys have gotten this message and you receive it, and that it was helpful, because I feel like this is a pretty good reading. I enjoyed delivering it, and yeah, I'm kicking my own ass, if you don't mind. From Liar Liar. Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. I love Jim Carrey. That's my boy. My son, for a little bit, he used to call himself Jamarcus Carey because he's got like that slapstick kind of humor to him. He's obviously black, so it's like the running joke for a little bit. Like, okay, Jamarcus Carey. We're a fucking hot mess, okay? But anyways, Um, like I said, I love you guys, and I'm so grateful for you guys for being here. If you didn't get to catch it from the beginning and would like to, I'm about to post this up as soon as I get off here. So it should be up and running in the next few minutes. And yeah, until next time, my lovies, guys have a great rest of your evening. What time is it? What is this? All this stuff showing up on my Fitbit. Things that are not usually there. They changed it because now it's off through Google, the app, and this. What the fuck is this? Don't like it. Okay, there we go. Sorry. But yeah, it's about to be 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But nonetheless, I love you guys. So until next time, you guys have a great rest of your night. I might show up again tomorrow. We shall see. That's why hitting the notification button is going to be important so that you know when I'm on. But until next time, you guys have a great rest of your night, and I love you guys. Mwah.